Welcome, everybody, to the Table Rush Talk Show. And today I bring you my interview with Connie McIntosh. And Connie McIntosh wants you to have a happy Christmas, specifically happy holiday meals. Happy holiday meals with the relatives that usually push your buttons. Connie's secret: forgiveness. Listen in as she gives you the tools, tips, and tricks to have a fantastic holiday meal with your in-laws. You can also watch this interview at www.tablerushtalkshow.com. Again, www.tablerushtalkshow.com. Enjoy the interview. There we go, Connie.
Hi there. How are you?
I am amazing. Well, I have a few questions for you. Like, hey, how'd you end up in the 2CCX? Okay, B, then we've got this massive pivot, and now C, like, how's it going, right?
That Russell had a really good offer for the One Funnel Away challenge. So I did that and picked up, and in the process of doing that, I bought Jim Edwards' funnel scripts and, did the One Funnel Away and worked on my course. I had a course done, but I did not have a funnel for it for real estate.
Okay.
And
can I ask you a question in that regard?
Sure.
Had you had success as a I think it was flipping houses, or what was your?
Yeah, no, flipping houses. Yeah, we had a lot of success doing that.
Okay.
And then I wanted to, and I did a course and didn't know how to market it, did the funnel, but didn't really get into the marketing of it. Plus, it was starting, I wasn't terribly enthralled with it sometimes with real estate because it's, it's just what it is. And it's not something that you can do a movement to change the world with, to me. I didn't see how I could get to people and help them through real estate.
It sounds like
Go
on.
ahead.
I didn't interrupt. It sounds like you might have thought of this course creation as actually a way out of real estate, right? You're like, hey, wait a minute, maybe if I create this course, it's kind of a soft exit out of this real estate space. Or
Well, it's I didn't decide to walk away from it for quite a while. Then got the invite from Russell to do the 2CCX weekend, the first time he did a virtual one last year, and signed up for it and said, okay, this is what I need to help me. This will work. I'll have everything I need. And
to bring your course to market, your real estate flipping course to market. Yeah.
And I did a real estate investors summit, which was actually really good. But it was people that I have credibility in that world. So it wasn't bad. I mean, there was it wasn't a monstrously successful, but it was successful enough. It showed me that I knew what I was doing. And I actually am taking all of those interviews and creating a book from them, which I will probably, do a sales funnel for it, a little cheap sales funnel for it at some point. I'm not worried about it yet.
More for the experience of it and the learning, or actually,
well, just hey, I'll sell it for $5 or $4.95 or something.
Yeah,
nothing. It's just because putting effort into it. Why not get myself paid for that at some point if it's going to pay me, right?
Yeah.
So all my real estate people wanted me to do another summit this year. I've been asked, and I'm not doing it.
Wow.
So, but that I decided when did I make that decision? I guess it was June or July this year. I made the decision that the real estate it wasn't a passionate thing. People heard me talk about real estate, and then they heard me talk about the forgiveness zone and said, what the heck are you doing with real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the forgiveness and forgiveness beyond, which I love that website name. And, the people, I mean, the numbers weren't huge coming into the summit, but the conversions were really good. like 40% of the people who came registered.
Yeah.
And of that, 9% got the all access pass. So, I was reaching the right people.
Yeah.
So that was important. And then what I'm going to do is right now I'm starting going out to the people who registered for the summit and just kind of keeping them warm, giving them an email, probably about 3 more emails. And then I will, invite them to come to the masterclass.
Okay.
And the masterclass will be $97. And
what's
we
the
will.
Go. Sorry.
Yeah. And then that's module 1 for the course. And then after Christmas, I will do module 2 of the masterclass and invite people. I'll probably do open hours just before Thanksgiving and before Christmas for people who've been to the masterclass on Facebook. In the first module, it's so that they will understand why they have the resentment and blame if they don't already understand why. Why did they hold all that resentment and blame inside themselves? Like what is it from? Like, why do they have that? What's the cause of it? And identifying the cause, and then the discussion being around, okay, so if it's a person, and we know that, celebratory times are coming up, is that a person who is commonly sitting at the dinner table for the big family celebration with you? Okay, well, here's some tools so that you can get through that meal without having any more resentment or blame building up in you from it. And that's the first module.
I love it.
$97 to register. So I don't think that's expensive.
No, that sounds very reasonable. Will it be 97 per module or 97 and then?
Well, there'll be 97 for the first one that they sign up for. Okay. And when they sign up for the second one, if they sign up for the second one, when they sign up for the first one, the second one will be half price. And if they did not sign up for the summit speakers all access pass, then they can get that at the original price. Because those speakers will be referred to. Yeah. Cool. And the tools that came out of it. And I may take the tools that the speakers gave, and put them on a resource page and say, here are some tools from some of the speakers, and I can continue to promote that they get that all access pass, because I don't think the speakers' interviews will go out of date. I really don't.
Timeless, right? Timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless
and,
information.
Yeah, and then the second one will be how to put yourself in a zone that you can forgive yourself for holding this resentment and this blame, and that you can, consider, like, you can either forgive the person as well, or you can agree that you will maybe sometime in the future forgive them.
I love it.
So covers off everybody. I mean, full resistance. Okay, maybe consider forgiving them sometime in the future.
Right.
Just keep that in the back of your mind. You might want to forgive them, and if you do, that would be really good. Yeah. But if you don't, we'll work on that later, Right.
Oh my God. It's genius. I love it.
That's actually Anna Christina.
Is it?
Yeah.
So good.
She was telling me about, she had a pretty rough marriage. And he was extremely abusive. And her friend had asked her just a week or so before the summit if she could forgive him. And she goes, what? And she just, no. And then her friend said, well, Anna Christina, could you maybe consider possibly thinking about forgiving him at some point? And she said, yeah, I could probably do that. So it opens the door.
It opens the door.
It opens a door that you don't realize is there.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you're left with that thought. And she's thought about that a few times since she said it, which is fascinating. So people, nobody wants, you don't forgive people, anybody, you don't forgive for any reason but for yourself. Okay. You need, it's like the oxygen mask. You need to take care of yourself get the oxygen on before you can help other people. And so, sharing my experience with my sister family and, there's other people, but resentment and blame, there's no need to have that inside you once you understand that all of your inability to find the success you want is because those particular feelings get in front of you like stumbling blocks when you're trying to go forward. And you can't get past them. They're just so damn immovable.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So I think it's fascinating what you learned from interviewing everybody, right? How many speakers did you end up having on the Forgiveness Zone?
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you had a concept of forgiveness. Is this sort of a parallel path of forgiveness that you're finding for people? So I guess two things. Go ahead.
Well, forgiveness is, it's going to be approached differently by everybody.
Yeah.
As we have preconceived notions as to the positivity or the negativity of forgiveness, and that, I've heard people say, well, I'm not gonna, if I forgive him, I can't just forget it ever happened. Mm-hmm. I can't, what is it? Like you can, but you're not forgiving him. You're forgiving yourself for harboring that resentment and that blame.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually physically state that you are forgiving the other person.
It's interesting. I think in my own journey with, let's say, forgiveness or like, I had some anger stuff that would percolate around in me, and call it resentment if you want.
Sorry, just telling him not to make me lunch. I had it already.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Misha. I'm sorry.
No, it's this that I had a hard time imagining, like, who am I going to be without this anger or this, or because it provided drive for me in a certain way, right? Like I was able to channel that into maybe working hard or success. And so I was like, man, if I get rid of this edge, how am I going to be successful in life? Yeah. It's an interesting concept. But I think it's really cool how you're actually able to implement what Russell is teaching us, the 2CCX is teaching us, all these, the coaches within that are teaching us that, hey, it's awesome to see it work for you, where start down the path, do some summits, start talking to people, start interviewing people, you do the real estate thing, you have your epiphany. You know what? I think I have this forgiveness is where my passion is, as you're talking to your friends and you're going through this process. And then you do this Forgiveness Zone Summit, and now you're able to take all the disparate information from the 21 speakers and coalesce it into an expert course. Right? Like, how amazing is that? How does that feel?
Exactly. It feels awesome.
Yeah.
And it's by doing the pivot, I'm getting to where I want to get to. Sticking with real estate, when you do something like this, you need to feel that you've done something that matters.
Yeah.
Teaching people how to make money, teaching people how to be the best that they can be. Yeah. I'll take the second anytime.
Yeah, I think you addressed it earlier when we were first talking. You said, hey, the real estate for me is not a drive. It's not something that motivates me to create a movement, right?
Yeah.
Versus clearly.
Right. There's my goal is to see a forgiveness beyond tribe. have a weekend seminar, weekend, whatever we want to call it with them. What I'm doing is I love Stacy and Paul Martino's Yellow Brick Road, and that's kind of my path that I'm following with this, because I love what, it's relationships as well. It's people, being the best they can be, but not at an expense of somebody else. And some people, my sister would validate herself at the expense of others. Mm. And that is not the way to treat people.
Yeah.
So
how first question, how painful was the pivot for you? Like my pivots as I throughout the 2CCX can be really hard and psychically painful. What's your experience there?
It was, hey, you do a pivot and you're going like, did I do the right thing here? Should I go back? And then should I do this? Should I do that? My momentum coach and I had a call yesterday, and it was pretty impressive, because she said, what is it that stops you from pushing forward with the aggression you have? And I said, because I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to fail. And then I said, but the Russell Brunson part of my brain kicks in and says, well, listen, you got to do this. You got to find out if it's good or bad. If it's great, you're awesome. Tweak it, make it better. But if it's bad, tweak it and make it awesome. And that's Russell. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I never felt like that with the real estate part.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know I don't know how it's going to be. I'm doing this masterclass. I have no idea how it's going to be, but you know what? I will at least have results I can tweak. I will have something I can tweak for the next module in the course. And then create the program. I want to get people through a few courses before I start to create the program, because I want to see results, and I want to talk to them about how they got through it, how it was, and then I can get a testimonial from them and put it up, from these courses, get a few testimonials from people who have received some benefit from this.
It's beautiful. The moment of inspiration of, I think I want to do a forgiveness zone summit. What is the feedback you're getting from the people that you're talking to this about? Because I'm sure it's both sides. You're getting some that like, heck yes. And some are like, are you crazy pivoting from what you know? So tell me about that.
I had people who, like, the real estate people in my world, not one of them was interested in the summit. And yet all of them could benefit from the program. And they don't see that. You deal with people in real estate. I coach real estate students still. And most of them, I've ended up doing a lot of life coaching on their coaching calls with them, because they need it. And the majority of them have signed up for the summit. They are really interested in what I'm doing, because they see they are trying to push into real estate and learn and be successful when majority of people have such a lack of confidence these days. Yeah. People don't seem to understand how great they are. They don't understand how amazing they are, and that they can achieve anything they want to achieve. You don't hear people say that anymore.
I'm going to take that in right now. I'm going to take that into me. Like, I'm amazing.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
We are incredible. God didn't make junk, or the universe didn't make junk, whatever you believe in. But, the universe it gives and takes. Yeah. If you truly want something, build a passion to get it, and understand that you're going to run into those feelings. Still, the resentment and blame will probably, for some people, never leave them. Yeah. But it will become easier and easier to live with.
Yeah.
And something that they can name it, and they can say, oh, that just started up again. That's no problem. Right. Yeah. And that's where people need to be, everybody should have the the opportunity to have a positive and when I say abundance, I don't mean money, but an abundant life with all of those feelings that are so good, all the positivity, a lot of stuff, and all the good stuff for them. And no one does not deserve that.
Love that. It sure is nice to have resentment not be the driver of our lives too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the performance coach and your performance class, because at that point, this is 6 months ago or 3 months ago or something when this is starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What's the input from your performance coach at that time? Are they like, yep?
Didn't have a performance coach then.
So
these are the ones that we just got after Funnel Hacking Live.
Well, no, I'm just thinking of.
Oh, you mean Vince?
Yeah, Vince. Absolutely.
Okay, Vince.
Yeah.
Vince is kind of amusing. Like he says, well, Connie's the forgiveness zone. I don't know enough of it yet to say anything much, but I don't understand where she's going with this, but it's going to be good, But he and I talked about a few issues with the company that I do coaching for, and how the previous company CEO who passed away and I had an agreement that I could use the materials and market it any way I wanted to. And that is not how the current people feel. So I coach for them. And my goal is to quit coaching by the end of Christmas season. And I have 3 students that I'm coaching for them, that if they want to come with me, we can finish out their coaching there. Then I will just terminate totally everything. And then they can come and see me and pay me.
It's amazing. I'm so excited for you. And it's inspiring. And I think it's such a great message for everybody to hear, that be willing to make that 180-degree pivot and trust and work through it. You've got a husband, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's he saying and thinking as this is going down? Is he like Connie being Connie, or is he like, yeah, it sounds great, or like?
Well, no, he's very supportive, and he is also studying the e-com line to do the swag for the swag for Forgiveness Beyond.
Yeah.
So what we're going to start off, what I've asked him to start off with is to think about, Allison, when she did Momentum, she talked about the journals. Like she sends out a 3-month journal when people register.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to send out a 1-month journal when people register, and it would be free. And to get the full year journal, it will be expensive, because they are expensive. But this would just be, a 30-day journal that they can go through. But I'm also doing a PDF journal for the course, the 2 modules. There'll be a journal and some questions in it that they need. And I've probably got a questionnaire that I want them to start off with, and it's going to be it's only going to be a couple of hours for this class, this master class, but they will get away with having a very good idea why they have resentment and blame. Even if it's just they think back to the time when they were, like every Christmas or every New Year's or every birthday or every summer holiday or something, somebody comes into the family circle and they feel very miserable that they're there. Well, why do you feel miserable? Like what feeling, any other feelings? Like, why does that happen? So just finding out why do they feel those negative feelings? Why do they, when did it start? Why do they feel them? Can they figure out who it is? And even if they don't know who it is, they will on the second table dinner at Christmas, right? Because, like we've already gone through our Thanksgiving here in Canada, but I know it's a really huge thing in the States.
Oh my gosh.
And, yeah. So I'm probably going to do on the group on Facebook, I'll invite them all for open like office hours a few days before Thanksgiving, and just say, okay, anybody need, a real cheerleader boost, to get you through this? Have you got your tools? Do you know what you need to do? Have you read over the stuff you need to read over? So it's just going to be a little review, and it's all going to be part of the module. And all the ones who are on the masterclass will be, invited into it, and have a chat and see what's not firm in their mind as to what to do, and then giving them some tools like, where, mind resets, like Anna Christina's breathing resets are amazing, for first responders who are just getting overwhelmed in the day and they just like this, and just these resets, they come back out of it feeling better. So, even if you do a breathing exercise at the table, just calmly, and that's not helping, get up and walk around and do the next one. Say, oh, I gotta do something, right? I forgot something in my car. Gotta go get it. Or anything, just away from the situation.
I love it.
Walk away, do some reset breathing, give yourself some good affirmations, and then go back in, sit down and smile. And, anybody says and thinks, no, it's no problem. I'm back, and then figure some questions even that you could ask people at the table to get them talking so you don't have to. Deflection. If somebody has always come at you with some snarky, caustic, really shitty comment, and you ask them, hey, blah, 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 I understand that you got a brand new car, so tell me, how is it going? How's that car working? How do you like it? And what happens? They're all excited. They get to talk about themselves, right? Unless
oh my God, prep for it. Do your preparation.
That's right. Well, it's an issue for you. If it's an issue for you to be in that scenario, and you can't avoid it, then put on the Teflon.
Do your homework.
Put on the Teflon. Let it slide off.
God bless you, Connie. Oh my God. I want to ask you a few things, and I'm going to let you get back to your day. First off, there was that. The one thing, I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeves, right? And you, which one thing I love about you is you're more of a, I'm going to be more up and down, right? Where more impassioned, or then maybe a bit more, where you're very calm and even through. So which I appreciate. And so I'm guessing the pivot for you from real estate to forgiveness, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's probably was a bit heavier than you have described. Or when I say heavier, what?
Yeah.
Can you?
It was not easy. I mean, until I did the actual summit. Like, I mean, I started the interviews, and I was accustomed to people in real estate, making the commitment, being there and doing it. And I got all my interviews done for the real estate summit in like about 15 days. Yes. And there was like over 20. And then for this one, I started in August and they weren't finished until the week before the summit. I started at the beginning of August. I mean, like, what is wrong? I mean, my first thought is, what is wrong with these people? Do they not understand? We got to get this done. And I thought that these people are being very kind and doing this with you because, I had some really good names on there. Yeah. And they tried to do affiliate programs. It wasn't all that great. Didn't all that work out for them. But what I think I'll do for the module course is maybe offer my speakers an affiliate for it, just to, or just ask them to send it out to their list and see if there was anybody who missed the summit and might be interested in this.
Why not? That's an amazing idea. I think it's a great idea.
Because these people are all in the forgiveness area. And I had 4 pastors, 2 retired, 2 active. As speakers, and they were very amazing. The pastor of our church, he said, "No, I have to give you a blessing, but just to hang on, we're going to keep this going." And he did a blessing for me in the summit that was just amazing, and I will cherish that. That is my thing, But he also, he's like. A lot of them were like him, a lot of you, right? Yeah. Just fill up my inbox. I'll do whatever you need, which was really good. And so I think I will. Yeah. So you'll be seeing an email from me.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for having me on the summit too. That was so much.
Oh, it was great. When my husband was listening, he transcribed everything. Yeah. And I think yours was one of the ones he was listening to, and he said, he's pretty amazing. And I said, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, hopefully I get the impression maybe some of the stuff I talked about you can implement in further modules
Oh,
down the
yeah,
line
for
or
sure.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
warms my heart. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You came up with this one-liner and you said it on our first classroom the other day, our first performance classroom.
Okay.
You said, let me see if I can find it really quick. You're like, yeah, I came up with this one-liner and it was something about the soul or
oh, no, it's the quote. Yeah. Today I decided to forgive you.
No.
Not that one. Oh, wow. You have to tell me.
Yeah, let's see. I wrote it down because it was so good, I felt like. Let's see if I bear with me. Sorry, anybody who's listening, but it's so good. Okay. Connie, I'm just looking at my notes. Why do you need forgiveness? Because your soul
deserves it. Your soul needs it because your soul needs it. Yes.
Yeah.
When Anthony Robbins,
go ahead, say it. Yeah.
Well, when Anthony Robbins wanted to know, excuse me.
Yeah.
To write down the answer we would give somebody who asked us, why should I buy your course? Yes. And it took me iteration after iteration after iteration to finally say, because your soul needs peace.
So good. Love that. Yeah. Anybody listening needs to do that exercise that you just said. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And thank you, Tony Robbins. All right. Last thing I've got, I want for people who are in the 2CCX, mm-hmm. Maybe behind you in the process, right? You've been in it coming up on a year right. and a half, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or anybody in a like journey. What are your top 3 tips? It doesn't have to be tip 3, it could be 1, but what are your top 3 tips for anybody in the 2CCX or a like journey?
3
tips for like how to survive it. And maybe survive's not the right word. Maybe hang in there, because I think a lot of people at the mm-hmm. point of pivot stop, where maybe if they pivoted right. forward instead of pivoted out. Or what are your top 3 tips to like make the pivot sooner, or to like, what are the things that you've done that have helped you get to this? Well, the top 3 things that have helped mm-hmm. you to get to the point you're at now.
Well, one thing I have done is I have avoided being part of conversations. ClickFunnels has changed, right? Like 2CCX has changed since we got into it, right?
Yes.
Not just this last funnel hacking, but there's been changes throughout. And, some people have verbally been unhappy with changes. And I personally have stayed out of those conversations. Even though that was trying to draw me in, I would stay out. I had no desire to be part of that. Yeah. And interestingly enough, the majority of those people faded away. They're not part of ClickFunnels anymore. So don't complain. Like with ClickFunnels, when they change something, it is so much for the better for us. You may not believe it, but you are not knowing. You are on your journey. You're not at your destination. And until you get to the destination, you don't know how well all those changes have helped you, which is one of the big things in our world. And Russell is really right on target with everything he says. Sometimes you have to listen a few times. Sometimes you have to experience something, and then you have to go back and listen again. Yes. Because you're not taking it all in. You're taking in portions of it. Yeah. But if you don't take in everything that he says, you miss the lesson.
Yep.
And a lot of people do.
Yep.
And don't for a minute think you know more than your coaches.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm writing that down as well. So good. I try to remember that, but I needed to hear it. Thank you. Don't for a minute think we know more than our coaches.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's okay that we know everything about what our commodity is, if you want to say that. But getting that commodity to a 2CCX award, we don't know how to do that, but our coaches do.
That's so good, Connie. Thank you for that.
So if we don't pay attention to them, guess what happens? Wait another year. Wait another year until finally you get it, Yeah, I told Vince and told Sarah that next year I want a 2CCX, so the 10, and I want the Bootstrapping Entrepreneur of the Year award, the great big black one, which they'll have to ship home to me because it weighs 50 pounds. So I told Sarah I'd get the box wrapped up now.
You're amazing, Connie. All right, do you have a third tip that comes to your mind, or two's good enough? Those were two amazing. Or
yeah,
two's good. Oh my
yeah.
gosh! You know what? Thank you for your willingness to
oh, you're welcome.
Share, and I'm definitely going to turn this into an episode. I've started I'm going to rebrand my current podcast, and it's called Table Rush.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, huh?
Can you share the recording with me?
Absolutely.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Yeah. Good. All right. Fantastic. Love you,
okay,
Connie.
So I guess I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Yes. See you tomorrow afternoon. What's tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, 1 o'clock with Vince.
It's a what?
Isn't it at 1 o'clock on Wednesday? No, it's not tomorrow. It's next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, next week. I always forget that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so used to it being every week.
Every week. I know. Yeah. I've been trying to trust. I love what you said. Avoid being part of the conversations, the complaining, the fear of the change, because they were definitely starting to float around out there. And it's like, just trust the process, hang in there, put the contempt aside. I think as we get older, it can be harder to embrace change sometimes.
I mean, sometimes, it's easier. It is easier to go back on the old ways than to go forward to the new.
Yeah.
It's just, you're in a comfort zone, and it's really hard. Don't forget, it's the wall, and a lot, even Bob Proctor talks about a wall, that you want to make that change. You get this close to the wall and you just kind of bounce off the wall and you've crashed down here you don't realize that the distance from here to the other side of the wall is so short. And then when you finally do it, you're going to kick your ass saying, why didn't I do it sooner?
Yes.
I mean, we do that all the time. Every time we try to go through a change, we do that. Like, come on, people, let's stop doing that. But it's too much human nature. We all do it, I'm
going to call that lesson 3.
Okay, sure.
Do what you need to get over the wall, because you will. Why didn't I do it sooner?
Exactly. It's Russell does the same thing with his wall, right? To come across a wall, and then the Epiphany Bridge, and what got you there? Why? And, you can hit that wall 20, 30 times. And and every time you hit the wall and you don't get past it, you start to have an even stronger belief that you can't do it. Mm. So what starts off as just, resistance. And we don't like resistance of, resistance. And you go back and have your coffee, sit down, put your feet up. And then the next day you say, well, maybe I'll try it again. Yeah. Only now you're looking for the resistance. So it's twice as powerful, right? Mm. And then the next time it's even more powerful, because the more times that you hit resistance and go back to your comfort zone, the harder it's going to be the next time, because you're even more aware of it.
Yeah.
So if we could just do a mind, what was it called? What was it in no. The black, Men in Black. In Men in Black, remember the little, and they just
yes.
wipe the camera? Yeah. We need that about the resistance. Just go, because the resistance is all in us. And it's really us. We are the ones who do it. We are the ones who can solve it.
Yeah.
And, if we don't, okay, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
I'm my thing with my program later is people, I want everybody staying with me year by year by year and just going up another level, ascending every year to a different level of getting themselves into the better spot, but also helping people behind them come up with them. You know, like that's, I want people who are doing something with it. I mean, it's hard to weed out people who don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of cruel. If you say, well, you're not really doing anything, are you sure you want to be here? Yeah. You know, but there are people who sign up for stuff and they don't do anything with it. And that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just taking a note, and I have a final question for you, because clearly we could go on. Will you graciously, when I make this podcast and let you know about it, will you email it to your list?
Of course I will.
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet.
No problem. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
I will also be sending you an email about the module as soon as they can sign up for it.
Yeah, cool. I'd love to promote that, and the affiliate opportunity is super cool. But just, I think, you know, people, any more, I'm all in on forgiveness. And I think my favorite part about forgiveness is once you forgive, you realize you didn't need to forgive. There was nothing to forgive if you could perhaps transcend forgiveness, right? Like,
well, exactly. You know, but forgiving yourself, because you don't realize that if you forgive yourself for the resentment and blame, and you can clear it. Yeah. And you don't realize that until you do it. You know, you think it's coming from somebody else, but no, that's actually coming from you. Yeah. You are responsible for what you feel about something and somebody. And you need to take the responsibility and forgive yourself for it. Yeah. And then they become not important anymore. Yeah. If you can, you know, like it's like when you are, my sister, for example, she would pick at me, you know, like ducks plucking at my head, right? That's how it would be. Yeah. And if I made a comment or reacted to it, it fed the fire and she kept going. But sometimes I didn't react at all and she still kept going. So there was she did not fit into the category, that I would assume. She, well, you know, if somebody has a personality disorder, you're dealing with something different. And that's what she had. And it was diagnosed a month before she died. Like, that was handy for the family, you know. So when, you know, the personality disorder, had we known 20 years ago, it would have been, well, it's not really her, so it's okay. We love you anyway. You just go have a good time. Go play with the ducks or something, you know, have a good time. But no, you think that she's doing it on purpose and aware. But it's, to me, like the personality disorder might have been like a short circuit in the brain. And when it hit the short circuit, she went off tangent. And then she'd come back to it, and she may not even really, maybe it was true, maybe she didn't even realize she'd done that. But then it was so often, it's hard to be sure, you know. Yeah. And, you know, we've had people talk to us about personality disorders, but we're still not quite sure what it really all means, you know. Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is. More will be revealed, right?
Yeah,
More will be revealed.
You know, exactly. Hey. If people share with other people what they have been through, then it can touch upon my experiences, my past, my history with her, could touch upon something somebody else is having now. Even if it's not exactly the same, it's like, that sort of sounds familiar. And this person got past it, right? So, and it gives people hope that they can get beyond it too. Which is why the overarching business is called the Forgiveness Beyond. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Because that's where you want to get to.
So that's where you want to get, right?
You want to get beyond all the crap that made you want to forgive. So that, you know, when you're beyond forgiveness or forgiveness beyond, you get yourself into a better state, a happier state. And hey, you know, peace, tranquility, inner peace, tranquility. You know, meditation can do that for you too. And so combining a lot of, you know, all those self-help exercises is great, you know.
Real quick, where can people find you? So where am I guiding people to if they want?
Okay. I'm trying to think. Well, forgivenessbeyond.com is
Okay.
up.
Good.
And I'll put a contact point on there. I'm in the process of fixing this in the Forgiveness Beyond funnel to put the masterclass in there.
Good news is, in 2 years, when the masses are listening to this, your forgivenessbeyond.com is going to be so rich and
Yeah. Thank you.
Connie, thank you. And have a great day. And I look forward to, in maybe 6 months or whatever, we'll revisit and see where each of us are.
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you, Connie. Okay,
have a
cheers.
good one. Okay. Bye. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.